Hello everybody and welcome to Victoria Free, where today we are going to basically solve all the problems of the world by playing as Lithuania. Now you might be very correctly wondering, how are you gonna do that? Lithuania didn't exist in 1836. Well, I will start as Russia, and I will, of course with Iron Man mode, because I like getting achievements. I will start as Russia, call it Lithuania Iron Man, and basically what I am going to do is, I will, of course for game advantages, I will first and foremost also release the Baltic Governorate and also independence for Finland. And finally, I will free Lithuania. Release as independent, play as country. And boom! We are golden, we are good, we are Lithuanian. Who is our leader? Artūras Ostrogiškis. I have no idea who that is. It very well could be a dynamically generated character. The opening moves were rather simple, just me building some buildings, passing police force, and then I decided to try and fix racism. Yeah, maybe just give people rights. This will be a nice first step in a cool Lithuania. Let us now fast forward to a bit later, when I wanted to build some factories, and then I realized for factories I need smart people, and for smart people I need an education system, and for an education system any of those serfdom, so we need to abolish slavery. We need to abolish slavery. Well, not slavery, serfdom. That's the same thing, guys. And with these simple words, a great crusade against all landowners began. Because it was mainly the landowners pushing the agenda of serfdom. It took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. We can establish a company, the Lithuanian Forestry Syndicate. Yay! As I knew total landowner death would not come instantly, I at least invented church healthcare in that time. I also signed a deal with Russia that allowed me to build on their land. However, this did not give me much profit at all. And also in that time, a very important historical figure joined our cause. Giuseppe We can invite Giuseppe Garibaldi to Lithuania. Garibaldi, great Lithuanian North Italian hero. I will bring Giuseppe Garibaldi into my government right now. Support the liberals. Support the liberals. Let's now skip through a very uneventful 8 years, during which I joined the Rossiyskaya Imperia power block, hoping it would bring me into their market. I didn't know that only the market power blocks bring you into market, so I should have joined Zollverein, or is it Zollverein? But I also found a way to reform the government and kick the landowners out. Okay, the economy is probably cooked. But we can abolish serfdom! Yes! Yes! We can abolish serfdom. Instead we will do homesteading. The country is fixed! The country is fixed! No more serfdom! We will instead have homesteading. Abolish the Duke! Kill the Duke! Execute the Duke! The law was actually passing pretty fast. The two first phases went through immediately. However, in the third phase, stall started to build and chance started to fall. It was of course the fault of the evil landowners. How to decrease stall? We need to kill the landowners. Kill the landowners right now. However, I did not surrender. I instead got a journal entry that allowed me to curb landowner influence and basically crush them from existence. And it helped. Look! The landowners are basically going extinct as we... That's beautiful. We basically destroyed the landowners. And we abolished serfdom. After this great deed, I decided to immediately move towards universal suffrage and give the freed peasants the right to vote instead of a pesky autocracy. However, the landowners knew that democracy would completely ruin all of their efforts, and so they decided it was time to start an absolutist revolution. Curse this shit, absolutist revolution. However, this revolution did not strike until I enacted universal suffrage. But then, because there were no elections yet, the only one coming in around 6 months, then they started a civil war, because the government had no legitimacy, because even though the government passed democracy, it was not a democratically elected government. So the snake struck then, and the first Lithuanian civil war started. Also, you may notice Latvia and Estonia got annexed during this time period, and I completely lost any opportunity to conquer them. This happened because the Baltic governorates, or the United Baltic Provinces, have German as a primary culture and thus were annexed by Prussia as a thing related to German unification. Lithuanian Curse this Lithuanian aristocratic revolt. However, the civil war was not that hard to win, and Lithuania easily emerged victorious, even with the support of Sweden on our side. Thank you, Paradox. After the end of the civil war, I started enacting presidential republic, because I knew the king had to be gone, or the monarchist absolutist would again pull something like this. I also left the Russian Empire's power block and started trying to join the Zollverein. However, I was not successful in that even in the whole video, not even talking about right now, and I will be trying to do that in the next episode if it happens. Also, the whole presidential republic thing did not succeed because of public opposition, and so didn't state atheism. I had to settle with more universally accepted laws for now. We can definitely pass agrarianism. Everybody wants agrarianism. After passing agrarianism, I also decided to basically fix up the army and make the taxation system more fair. And then I decided to return to a law I tried to pass earlier. Presidential Republic. However, as always, the vile monarchist tried to stop me. Royalist movement, goddammit. And so began the Second Lithuanian Civil War. It's considered a religious revolt. However, the vile monarchists could not stop the dream of a Lithuanian republic. And so, the new tricolor flag was born in the middle of the war. We are now the Republic, so even if we die free! Even if we die free. And our president is Vladimiras Dvarionas. After that, the monarchist horde was quickly crushed under our new republic's army. It's quite interesting how a battle first and foremost against landowners and against poverty turned into a battle against the whole monarchy and religion. Yeah, that's it. The first 3 years after the revolution were rather uninteresting. During them I just passed some minor laws, as well as total separation, which almost brought us to a third civil war. However, I was fast enough to prevent it. And after that, I thought about enacting freedom of speech, but then... Okay, freedom of thought. We need right of assembly or protected speech. So that should also be no problem. We can't yet get... Lithuania must have invented human rights! Have we not? Have we not invented human rights? Lithuania must have invented human. I love this game. Where is human rights? Actually, we're inventing human rights. And after that, nothing really interesting happened. I of course passed right of assembly, and I also finished the stamp out monarchism mission, which just basically meant the landowners lost their last monarchist elements and just became racist instead. After around 40 years of my leadership, the Lithuanian GDP has increased 6 times, and the other things have not really become better. I also have built good relations with Germany, and I am hoping to join Zollverein really soon. I have learned on the Victoria Free Discord server how to boost the leverage, so soon we will be in the German market and we will be rich, 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 like in the European Union, as if we were there. And so I can only ask you to like, comment, and subscribe, most importantly, so you don't miss the next episode of my now, I think, a mini-series about making Lithuania paradise on earth. Goodbye.